Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. This is a cast from the ASUS Republic of Gamers Winter Assembly 2012, and it is between EGPuMa and Stephano. So Stephano is getting ready to go for his third game against Puma, and if you haven't watched game 1 or 2, go and watch them now. I gave you a warning in game 2 as well. So pause now, go and watch the first or second game if you haven't seen it, and then come back because I'm going to give away some spoilers now for the people who have watched game 1 and 2. So pause, go and watch. Brilliant. So Stephano is currently 2-0 up, so that really means he's in a great position. This is a best of 5 matchup. It is the semi-final of the Republic of Gamer Winter Assembly. And if Stephano wins this game, he will advance on to the finals. And Stephano was playing amazingly. He did an amazing win in game 2. Just a massive ling bling 2-2 push with infestors and just completely crushed Puma. It wasn't even gentle. It was just a complete whitewash. And I mean, Stephano now is going into this third game. If he wins this, he's into the finals, whereas Puma, if he loses this, he is out. And never a good position to be in psychologically for Puma. The map is obviously Shakura's Plateau. They are in close by air positions. Shakura's Plateau is a brilliant map. I really like it. There's just so many little niches to the map. I mean, there's these high ground areas which tanks can go on so effectively. There's this low ground area where again tanks can go and marines can be dropped up into the main. And I mean, the base is quite easy to defend from Hellions to the front, so Stephano getting that 15 hatch as expected. Again, Puma just going for that refinery first. Now in game 1 and 2, he did actually get a tech lab on this barracks and go for a Reaper. Both times the Reaper did nothing. Literally nothing at all. Game 1 it got 0 kills, game 2 it got 1 kill. And I mean, if he goes for a Reaper in this game, Puma must be a glutton for punishment. I mean, if you do something 2 games in a row, a certain opening, and it gets completely demolished, doing it a third time is just making you wonder. I mean, maybe Stephano knows how to deal with Reapers really well. But we will wait and see. Obviously, Puma knows what he's doing far better than I do at this stage of the game. And there we go, the factory is coming down slightly early, so it looks like he is just going to go straight into those reactor Hellions. And I can't blame him. I mean, those Reapers just weren't being effective against Stephano. His micro, his just positioning and everything just meant he completely destroyed it. And there we go, the reactor is going down. Now, I have to say, I'm glad Puma did this, because if he'd gone for a Reaper again, it would have been, well, it would have left me scratching my head wondering what he was doing. But Stephano has got this down. He's got his gas down and his pool down. Both queens started pretty much simultaneously. Meanwhile, Puma just keeping the guys in gas and getting those reactor Hellions out as fast as he can. Both supply depots are going down now, and just really to let out that SCV. Now, is he actually going to go for the command center? It looks like, yep, there we go. Command center is going to go down now for Puma, so getting that super early expansion. Meanwhile, Stephano just kind of skirting that Overlord around the edge of the base just to see what he can see, and if it gives away the tech path of Puma. But I mean, Stephano should be able to deal with these Hellions pretty well. I mean, to be honest, all it needs is a spine caller dropped here and a couple of speedlings. Obviously, speed is already a quarter of the way done, and there goes the spine caller. So Stephano, I'm glad you listened to me from the past. I mean, that is exactly what you needed to do, mate. Pretty much exactly where I positioned the box as well. So good work, Stephano. Now if we go back to Puma's base, we'll see that a reactor is going down on this barracks as well. So double reactor Hellion build, it looks like, and that is a bit more unusual. Puma going for something a bit unorthodox here, and I mean, he needs to. If he wants to really beat Stephano, he needs to do something unorthodox, because Stephano is just so good at the moment that the standard reactor Hellion build is something he's got down perfectly, and that creep tumor will manage to get down. 2 queens there are in preparation. The Zerglings did scout those Hellions coming over, I do believe, from the watchtower. So again, Puma just really skirting this around, really going out of his way to try and avoid any scouting, and he hasn't actually switched. He is now switching this factory and barracks, so it is going to be a two 2 reactor factory into Hellions, so a lot of Hellions are going to be coming out now for Puma. Meanwhile, it will be interesting to see how he follows up with this. I mean, there is just 1 Hellion coming from each of those factories at the moment. I'm not quite sure why he's not getting double off of them. He does have the money to do it at the moment, so he's obviously saving it for something. It looks like he's going to be going for the upgrades, and meanwhile Stephano is getting those roaches out, so somehow he knows what's going on there. I mean, I have no idea how Stephano even knows that. He hasn't scouted the front at all, so all he knows is that there are reactor Hellions, but he's getting out 9 roaches and banelings, so this actually could be a baneling roach push, and I mean, that would be extremely effective here. Obviously, both banelings and roaches are very, very effective against Hellions, and Puma's just going for these mass Hellions. Meanwhile, just getting a tech lab on the barracks, so maybe going for stim or something like that, and a lot of Hellions are moving out, and they're going to be greeted by a lot of roaches. Now, this is kind of exactly what Puma didn't want to see. I mean, roaches just do so well against Hellions, it's almost scary. Marauders are coming out now, so it may actually be a Hellion Marauder push by Puma, and that would be effective, but there's just a lot of banelings morphing now, that dangerous sound of morphing banelings, and Puma pulling his base back, realising Stephano's really going to go for this, and meanwhile behind this, Stephano taking out his 3rd base as well, so Stephano is expanding and going for an incredibly scary looking push for Puma. There's just so many banelings, so many units as a whole, but that bunker's going down, but there's hardly any units there, and again, just very quickly those Hellions are going in, and just so many banelings. They are all detonating and are going to take out both supply depots, supply blocking Puma temporarily. I mean, he's got to wait a couple of seconds, and I mean, all those roaches are coming in. They're going to do big damage to pretty much everything. Quite a few Hellions are going down, more banelings just trickling their way in. I mean, a big baneling detonation there, doing quite significant damage to the Hellions, and I mean, those roaches just doing so insanely well against them, just picking everything off, and I mean, Puma's in such a bad spot right now. I mean, both supply depots are down, so Zerglings can literally just stream in, and that is exactly what Stephano is doing, just making Zergling after Zergling. But now she's switching back to drones and getting his evolution chamber. I mean, he's completely killed pretty much all of those Hellions. There are just so many Zerglings coming in, just focus firing down that bunker. I mean, there's just enough Zerglings here to be able to deal with those Hellions as they stand. So if the surround does go down there, it'll be really difficult. A good positioning by Puma there, just kind of getting the Zerglings in a choke so they can't get the surround. And I mean, Puma has held it off, but if we go to the loss tab, he lost quite a significant amount of stuff, although units killed is in favour of Puma still, but obviously that's because Zerg just have more units. But 5 workers killed by Stephano. If we go to the unit counting tab, it's 59 drones to 34 SCVs, not a great spot. And if we actually just look at the lost resources tab, it actually came out worse for Stephano, but obviously behind this, Stephano did get out his 3rd base and prevent this natural base of Puma from going up for quite a long time. So really, I think that was very effective, and Stephano just building a hatch outside Puma's base. He's just like, no, I want to reinforce here. I wish I'd actually learned to play Protoss so I could build a warp. I could warp units in right outside your base, but I didn't. I played Zerg, so I'm going to build a hatch there. And I mean, this could be really strong. I mean, there's a lot of Hellions there. They don't have blue flame though, and there's just a lot of roaches. I mean, there is quite a few roaches coming in, just more roaches, 5 more roaches on the way as well in the production tab. There's quite a few Zerglings, and I mean, I'd imagine that Stephano is just going to morph some banelings. There we go. So I mean, again, just another kind of baneling bust, and I mean, Puma has seen that hatch there, so he knows he is about to get an awful lot of pressure. I mean, putting a hatch there is pretty all-in-ish by Stephano. Well, not all-in-ish, but it's a big investment. If that hatch went down, for example, he would have lost 300 minerals, which can't really achieve anything else. It's not for getting more income. It's purely just for this attack. So Stephano seriously committing to just killing Puma now with this attack. But there was a lot of Marauders out and a lot of Hellions, and actually the Marauders eating through those roaches incredibly well, but the roaches likewise just doing huge damage to all of the Hellions. I mean, I think there's just too much stuff. A stream of Zerglings coming in now, and they are going to get this round, and there is the GG from Puma the second he saw those Zerglings. So absolutely great game by Stephano there. and wins the series 3-0. So Puma is now out and Stephano will be going through to the finals. Now, this is the last game I am casting today. I've got the round of 16 coming up on Friday night. I'm basically casting this on Friday night, so the round of 8 should be up by the time you're watching this, obviously. So will the round of 16. The finals I am planning to get up about a day later than when you watch this. So by all means, if you want to be up to date of when all my casts come out, and if you want to give me any feedback or suggest any games I cast, etc., just really interact at all, then go to my Twitter account, which will be kept up to date with basically all of my games and stuff. You can find me at SC2_England. And obviously, if you enjoyed the game and you've enjoyed these series, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I will keep making these videos and hopefully keep improving. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am getting a new headset, hopefully at the start of next week, around sort of the 5th or 6th of March 2012, and at which point the sound quality should get crystal clear. So I can't wait for that to happen because it will really improve the quality for all the viewers. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the semi-finals, and check back for the final games between Stephano and... I haven't actually checked the player yet. It is between Stephano and... Let me just quickly have a look. I should have had this prepared. Yeah, it's between Stephano and Polt. So it will be an amazing set of games, I have no doubt. Tune in again. I hope you enjoyed. Bye for now.